I come from a not so long line of witches, even if I'm not very magical myself. My mom could sense when folks were about to pass away until she gave that power up. Her mom was a mountain. Growing up in Bogota, I could always look up and see her over the city skyline, watching over me, all emerald green and dozing. Inside her house, I could look up and see her, towering over me, all emerald green, crocheted shawl, snoring like distant thunder while afternoon telenovelas played out on the TV. My grandma always did everything important in the morning. She got the day done early and napped through the afternoon. And some mornings she made the elixir. I love the elixir more than runny boiled eggs, more than candy, more than any other food. My mom, who's talented in many other ways, was a really bad cook. Before we moved to Canada, she was too busy for that kind of thing. So when I think of home food, I think of my grandmother's elixir. The elixir wasn't like Canadian soups, which any self respecting Bogotana would classify as broth. It was hearty, thick. It could heal anything. I heard people say it could raise the dead, although I've never seen this done, so believe whatever you like. The elixir, however, wasn't a special food. It was a weekday meal. When we became immigrants, my mom learned to cook the special holiday soup, ajiaco. No one asked about the elixir or thought to preserve it, and then my grandmother died before we could ever return to visit her. The elixir died with her. Of all the magic spells to take with you to the grave, one that raises the dead is particularly frustrating for us suckers left behind. So, over the last 10 years or so, I've been reverse engineering the elixir on my own. I've eaten as many similar soups as I can find. I've tried a lot of extra ingredients, spices. I've asked my family with no real conclusions. I've been mad at my grandmother, who I suspect thought a dead raising elixir was a simple thing, not worth mentioning. I guess her standards for what was magical were very different from mine. It hasn't been a very organized or scientific process, but I've slowly perfected a lentil soup. Is it the elixir? I don't know. There were three big realizations as I went on this journey. One, I had none of the same tools. Canadian ingredients are different. A recipe followed to the letter may still not taste right. Different meats are cheap here. My entire kitchen and pots are all different. I can't recreate the process, no matter how badly I may want to. Two, I can't ever have the original elixir again. So all my tests are measured up against the memory that's getting further and further away, and I've had more lentil soup than the original elixir by now. I have no way of knowing if my recipe tastes right or if I've convinced myself that it does. And three, I don't dare try to raise the dead and find out. Curious though I may be, it would be really rude to explain to the dead why I'm bothering them. What I can say for sure, despite this failure, is that I gain a lot through having tried. I like my lentil soup. Other people get creeped out because it's so thick you can scoop it out like ice cream when it comes out of the fridge before I reheat a bowl. I've had people refuse to try it with actual fear in their eyes. um, but no matter, it tastes like home. Not the home of my childhood, but the home I built for myself as I go, as an adult. Like all immigrants, I know home is not a place. It's the magic stories you tell yourself, the people you trust, the traditions you build up from scratch. I even have someone who loves me so much, he occasionally has a bowl of the soup and only rarely remarks on how it looks like prison gruel. And before I die, I'll write my soup recipe down. Whoever's left after me will find all the ingredients in my kitchen, and with any luck, they'll make a batch and stick it in my dead lips, and if nothing happens, no one will mourn me hungry. And, well, I mean, you never know, right?